Within this short documentary, we're going to look at two case studies, one local and one international, Ouseburn and Hong Kong.
We will analyse how the culture sector has driven urban regeneration in these once run-down and cared-for areas.
We want to dive into the concept of a creative city. What is it and what factors contribute to how we define it? We also want to look at the similarities that occur across both case studies despite the geographical, social and cultural differences.
What is regeneration?
How does it happen?
Is it an instant process?
What are the positive factors of creative regeneration?
Do they outweigh the challenges?
Who benefits from these factors?
If there are challenges, how can we as a community overcome them?
These are all the questions that we hope to cover over the process of this documentary.
Ouseburn. Some may call it the culture capital of Newcastle upon Tyne. The valley is a melting pot of art and culture renowned for its diverse community of professional creatives, art studios and galleries like the Biscuit Factory in 36 Lime Street. The Toffee Factory, the transformed former sweet factory, is a hive of creative companies. The valley has numerous unique old pubs. Under the Biker Bridge you'll find a Ship Inn. Tyne Bar is right at the mouth of Ouseburn, where it meets the River Tyne. This is Cobalt. Cobalt is a non-profit community interest company that provides affordable studios, art spaces, culture events, creative learnings and club nights. They believe everybody everywhere has a right to culture because culture helps with unity and belonging, and it creates communities and reduces social isolation. It was established back in 1999 by 4 designers coming together to create an artistic studio. All of the building was undertaken by themselves to keep the cost down and create an affordable space. Originally, the venue was a wood workshop but started transforming to its current form back in 2015. Future plans for Cobalt include more studio space in the backyard, as well as the top floor being transformed into co-working space. Another important venue in Upper Ouseburn is Star and Shadow Cinema. It's a volunteer-run DIY space dedicated to culture. The interesting thing is that there is no hierarchy, no boss and no one is paid. Anyone can get involved and put on an event as long as they are willing to contribute something to the running of the building. Right next to the Star and Shadow you'll find the Flea Circus, where they sell upcycled second-hand goods including clothes, furniture and plants.
Right in the heart of Ouseburn lies many cultural hubs, such as the Cluny. The Cluny is a 300-capacity live music venue, pub and cafe on Lime Street, based in a former flax spinning mill designed by John Dobson. The Cluny occupies part of the wider building at 36 Lime Street, sharing the space with artists, offices and recording studios. The Cluny is a regular fixture in the top 100 list of world's best bars, and it was reopened back in 1860 as a steam-powered flour mill. At some point in its history, the building became a Scotch whisky bottling plant called the Cluny, hence the current name. The regeneration of the area is growing with increasing speed. The former flax mill and whisky distillery opposite the Ship Inn have made room converted for flats, and people are once again living at the bottom of the Stepney Bank, sitting outside the Ship Inn.
Prior to the Industrial Revolution, the lower Ouseburn Valley was once part of the township of Biker. It's hard to believe that once this area was an agricultural and shipyard wasteland. Now it is a built-up artisan area, home to many eateries, artist studios, performance spaces, breweries and pubs where you can enjoy a fresh local craft ale alongside live music with a view of the Tyne. You may walk along the Ouseburn tributary as part of a nice outing, perhaps on your route to the Tyne Bar. You may not realise that this route was responsible for transporting tons of coal and other raw materials to the warehouses and mills that are now being converted. Once you've strolled past the modern apartments, delis and graffiti wall, you will find yourself at the Tyne Bar, where Ouseburn meets the Tyne.
It's images like this that highlight some of the challenges regeneration and creative cities face. Whilst Ouseburn once featured affordable housing for the agricultural and shipping industry workers, there are now increasingly less and less affordable options for the working inhabitants of the valley. Take the new housing project Ouseburn Quays, with one-bedroom studio rental prices beginning at £695 per calendar month. Or Steenberg's Yard across the river. These luxury 2-bedroom apartments start at £265,000, vastly overshadowing the housing economy of the surrounding areas of Heaton and Biker. This begs the question, how on earth are working residents of Ouseburn meant to be able to afford to live here? It's a growing issue that has been highlighted in regenerative areas and creative cities across the country, and even on an international level. Companies cluster in order to draw from concentrations of talented people who power innovation and economic growth. The attractiveness of living locally in creative areas, such as the Northern Quarter in Manchester, Shoreditch in London, or even Silicon Valley in California, has been abused by the property market and has isolated the very people who made these spaces what they are today. It raises the questions: how sustainable is regeneration in creative districts such as Ouseburn? Will gentrification continue until the heart and soul of these areas are engulfed into the larger metropolitan area? Do the creative industries bear a responsibility to keep Ouseburn affordable? Or are they continuing to an ongoing issue that took Ouseburn from a working class shipping yard to what it is today?